culture non-judgmentally. Now, if the second language teachers need to teach culture, the question comes how to teach culture in the classroom. It's very, very important that the culture of the second language introduced in the classrooms is introduced non-judgmentally. That means it should be presented objectively without any value comments about it's being better than our culture or this being worse in our culture. So we can definitely do a comparison with our own culture, but we want to say that both cultures are right in their own way. So we are not saying one culture is superior over the other culture or inferior over the from other culture. So first rule is to present the culture non-judgmentally. The second thing is that it is also said that we should aim towards, and actually it does happen when culture is taught non-judgmentally, that we create in our second language classrooms a kind of third culture. A third culture is sort of a mix of the first culture that the children bring to the class or the teacher's culture, and then this new space comes in when the second language is introduced to the students. Whenever someone is learning a language, one is in a way also learning the culture embedded in that language. So when they are learning that embedded forms of culture, they are also appropriating their knowledge or adjusting their mental structures or their knowledge about different types of culture. So while they study the new culture, they also explore their own culture. And from the point of reference of their own culture, they also try to explore more of the second language culture. So this third culture is actually a neutral space where cultures coexist with each other rather than one conflicting with the other one. So an effective way to achieve this is to present objects or ideas or anything else that relates to a given culture. It can be learner's own culture, and then you could present a similar item, a similar dish or similar food or similar customs from the second language culture. So you try to ask questions, you try to give some sort of clues about the background information, how things are used, what does it mean, what is the difference between supper and dinner, when is supper used, when is dinner used, and how does it relate to our the timing of our what we call Raat ka Khana. Do we all eat at the same time? Small things like this can actually have a lot of impact on the learners, because what they learn is actually how to accept things which are different from theirs. This leads to a discussion of the target culture. It leads to a discussion that gives them a deeper understanding about their own cultural aspects. And actually, students are encouraged to act as anthropologists, to find out how do we actually live, how does language actually work in our own culture. So we are just assuming that the children know what's going on in our culture. Yes, they use it, but they don't reflect upon it. And when we bring in second language culture, we actually try to bring in that sense of inquiry. We try to bring in that kind of understanding about both cultures. So what is the aim? The aim is that they should definitely develop empathy and understanding of their point of view, and understanding how the culture works from the second language perspective, And it is perfectly all right if it is different from our own culture. This will bring an understanding that cultures are not monolithic, not unidirectional. That means they are different. They are not all the same. And then this would lead to tolerance and understanding, a tolerance of diversity. People are different, and it is all right to be different. And difference does not mean deficit. It does not mean that if my culture is different from the second language culture that I'm learning, then I am somehow, or my culture or my language is somehow inferior to the second language culture. And this is extremely important.